All right, listen to this story. A New York man's faith in God has been restored, all thanks to $1 and a dream. Sal Goodman says he was a non-believer until he prayed for his mom to win the lotto, and she did.
Yes, the unbeliever that prays, the atheist that prays to a god. What the fuck is your definition of atheist, exactly?
Sal Goodman joins us now along with his $1 million mother, Gloria Bentavina. Nice to see you this morning. Welcome.
Nice to see you as well. Thank you.
This story is unbelievable. Okay, so Sal, you were a non-believer. You were an atheist / agnostic, is that right?
Yeah.
And why? You grew up Catholic, though. You've been Catholic all your life. And it just didn't rub off on you?
No, I just never felt it inside. You know, I mean, I took what my mom said at face value and stuff, but when I would pray or something, I just didn't feel the faith inside that I suppose other people felt.
So, as you can see, basically in order to become an atheist, you just don't feel like the faith and the God's love and stuff inside. It's nothing about studying the arguments, studying religions or different faiths, and finding out why they are indeed bullshit. The best thing for you to do is you don't feel God in your heart, you pray to win the lotto, your mom wins the lotto, and then you can say that God is obviously real. I mean, you've obviously put a lot of thought into this. And by the way, since your mom is Catholic and you won the lotto, it's the Catholic version of everything is dead on. The Pope and everything. Are you fucking kidding me? How much you didn't put any thought into it, obviously. You prayed to win the fucking lotto, and then when it happened, you took that as a sign from fucking God.
What would you used to say to him when he would leave the house every day?
Well, when he would leave, I would say, God bless you. And he'd like, don't bless me. Don't bless me. I've even thrown holy water on him when he was sleeping.
Little did she know that throwing holy water on someone while they're sleeping does nothing to their atheism, unless, of course, your atheism isn't actually something you've thought about. And, of course, instead of throwing holy water, she should have just been spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on lotto tickets until she eventually won some money, and then her son would want some of that money, so in order to make his mom happy, would go ahead and pretend to accept her faith and her money while he's at it.
You know, and he would wake up. What's the damp over here? Did you do something while I was sleeping?
Ew.
He didn't want to have anything to do about it.
Angry, but then what about it didn't connect with you? You grew up going to church. You were confirmed. You went to church every Sunday. But what about it didn't connect with you?
I just didn't feel it. Like, you know, I didn't feel anything inside. And, you know, looking at the world as it was, not necessarily the bad and the good, I just couldn't really see how we would be special, you know, as a human race, just to like one, you know, higher power or something like that.
You needed some sort of physical affirmation that this was true. And then,
so if you need some kind of physical affirmation that your mom's religion is true, and that physical affirmation ends up being winning the lottery, why did it take you winning the lottery? Because people win the lottery all the fucking time. Now, if you want to give me $1 million, I'll tell you I believe in God too. I'll tell you whatever the fuck you want to hear. That's $1 million fucking dollars. But in order for you to believe, you had to have someone like that can give the money to you win the money. Instead of just saying miracles happen, it had to happen to you. So how fucking strong is your faith? And by the way, go ahead. Oh, please, God, please, give me $1 million. Give me $1 million. Go, you know, everyone will have to do it, and then everyone can believe in God, because that's the kind of God he is. He bribes you with fucking money. And this is the kind of God that you want to now worship, or at least pretend to worship, to get a cash in on some of your mom's fucking newfound money. It's fucking pathetic and disgusting and sick.
You tell your mom something the other day to pray for her as it relates to winning the lottery. Tell me exactly what the prayer was.
Well, it wasn't a prayer. When we were sitting down, we got into a theological discussion, and towards the end of the discussion, I was like, why don't you ask Jesus for $1 million? And she said, it doesn't work like that. You can't ask for more than you need. Jesus and God only provide, you know, for you and what you need.
So basically, this entire fucking Fox News segment is a load of bullshit. I mean, before she won the money, you said, why don't you ask for the money? And she says, oh, no, it doesn't work like that. They can't give you more than you need. And then she turned around and won $1 million fucking dollars. So I guess if she was right, then it's actually just chance, just lottery chance. It's simply statistics. It has nothing to do with religion. I mean, by her logic, she should have only gotten like $7,500 or whatever, just enough to help, just what she needs, not $1 million. Nobody really needs $1 million. But, you know, of course, let's throw all that shit out the window and attribute this statistical improbability to a god.
I said, okay, I'll ask Jesus for $1 million for you. Jesus, give my mom $1 million. And she said, it doesn't work like that. You can't do that. And I said, well, if he wants him to believe, he'll do it.
If there is a God, you are trying to blackmail him. If there is a higher fucking power that makes decisions and gets to judge you after you die, you are fucking blackmailing him. You want me to believe in you? I'm gonna need $1 million. All right? My name's Sal Goodman, like the lawyer from Breaking Bad. All right? I'm gonna need that fucking money, God. And as soon as I get it, I'll start maybe, you know, believing in you a little bit more. All right? Capiche?
It was, you know, facetious when I said it, you know, there was no serious challenge to.
And then, Gloria, what happened after he made that prayer or question to Jesus?
Well, the following day I went to a Chinese auction, and they had, one of the prizes was a lottery wheel. There were 48 scratch-off tickets on it, and I was lucky enough to win the lottery wheel. I got the lottery wheel, they gave me the tickets, I brought them home, and that night when I scratched it, one of them was $1 million winner. And I won on the number that was his birthday, number 13.
Come on.
That's the number I had to match.
You're making that up.
No, you're making it up. Fox News dumbass. Fucking dumbass Fox News anchor. Fucking retard. You have to be making this up. You have to be making up that you can take something like this happening and put it on your show as like, aha, aha. You see this guy? He was an atheist. And then he was like, oh yeah? Well, why don't you ask for $1 million? And then she ended up with $1 million. And then, like, the number 13 appeared somewhere on the fucking card. And he happened to have been born on the 13th day of one of the fucking months in one of the fucking years. And so, take that, atheist. How can you explain that? How can you explain that? I mean, where's my $1 million? Where's every other atheist $1 million? Why doesn't every atheist mom win $1 million? Now that might be fucking something to consider as proof. I mean, that's a little bit more than just a statistical improbability. If every atheist mother who was not an atheist was trying to get their son to believe in the same crap that they do, and each of them won $1 million, every single fucking one of them, Jesus, then I'd be praying to Jesus. I'd be like, okay, where's my $1 million fucking dollars? My turn, right over here. Atheist guy just dying for $1 million. I mean, to have faith in you, Jesus. Cha-ching!
That was...
You won on his birthday number
Yes.
for $1, and it was specifically $1 million, of which you have asked. So now that this experience has happened to you, and your mom is now a millionaire winner, what do you feel inside? Do you feel any differently now?
I'm still trying to work out exactly how I feel. You know, going 20 years without going to church and without believing, and suddenly, you know, a miracle happens. You know, it takes some adjusting on my end. I went to church last week for the first time with my mom in 20 years.
It's sad that he thinks that by going to church he's going to get the $1 million, but it's even more sad that the mom needs him to go to fucking church with her and shit in order fucking to give her son some of her $1 million winnings, or leave it to him in a will or whatever. It would be some poetic justice if she gave it all to the church and he was left pissed off at the church for taking his money and went to being a real atheist, actually put some thought behind this instead of just being a greedy douchebag.
Kind of my way of saying thank you, you know, to Jesus and God.
We all see signs, don't we? We're seeing signs. We're right now in Joplin, Missouri. We're seeing one cross remaining after a church has been destroyed. We look for these symbols and we see them, and it could be God's way of saying something to us.
And there you have it, the mind that wants to see what it wants to see. You know, God needs to send you a sign. So what he did was destroyed like a fucking whole town with a tornado, including the fucking church, the place where people go to worship said God. He destroys it. But he forgot to get this one little cross. So fucking, it's a miracle. It's a sign from God. Well, really? What's the fucking part where he destroyed the whole town? What part of the sign is that? Maybe it's a sign from a different God, from a different religion, that you're doing it wrong. America. Oh, you can't take it as a sign like that. It has to be a sign like, oh my God, there's still a cross there. Jesus, Jesus. The whole fucking town is gone. The church is gone. The cross is there. Praise Jesus. This is the mentality we're fucking dealing with.
It was much more than that. I started last summer for the first time. I started Bible study, and at the end of Bible study, we held our hands and we each said a prayer out loud for what we wanted. Every week, I prayed that his heart would open up to Jesus and the Lord. And on Easter Sunday, 2 days before I won the $1 million, I gave him to God in my prayers on Easter Sunday at the Mass. And I prayed that God would come, help him believe in him.
I hate to say it, but my mom is like the same way, and she's Catholic, and she's constantly praying for me because, God can't do it without your mom praying for you. God doesn't have the heart to not make you burn for eternity for not believing in him. He has to hear it from your mom and then give her $1 million in order to get you so you don't have to burn for fucking ever. And that's if they are right. And since they are not right and they are wrong, it's even 10 times fucking more twisted than that bullshit that I just fucking handed to you. The way that they do this, this cognitive dissonance from reality that these religious people have in order to further delude themselves with their fucking religion is scary as fuck.
And I prayed 2 days before this happened.
Unbelievable.
And I feel it was really a miracle from God. My prayers were answered. His miracle was answered.
What more do you need?
I
guess what more do you need, Gloria?
Pretty much it.
Thank you so much. And
thank you for having us here today.
Absolutely. And now that you're a millionaire, you're buying us all lunch today. Thanks so much. Go ahead. I appreciate it.
Buy you lunch? Why don't you just give her 1 fish and 1 loaf and let her fucking turn it into enough to feed the whole fucking studio? Come on. She's obviously got a connection with God. Jesus would do things for her. She's hungry and she's only got, you're all hungry. Y'all want lunch, but all you have is a bag of Skittles and a cracker. Well, she'll turn it into a case of Skittles and a box of crackers. So what a fucking retarded, man. Coctopus out. As a final note, my birthday is tomorrow, which is also the drawing for the guitar raffle in order to help my dog, Chief, down there get to the vet and get more medications. It's extremely expensive, but if you saw him trying to hobble around and as much pain as he's in, you'd be raffling off your guitar too. There it is. Nice ass guitar. $5 a ticket. Drawing is tomorrow. I have to work. It's my birthday, but I gotta work during the day. I'll be off all night, and I will be doing the drawing for this and a bunch of other prizes that I have lined up to try and raise money to get him to the vet. $5 a ticket. I'll leave a link to the guitar raffle, which is my last video, where it has all the pertinent information. So, hope to see you there. Blog TV tomorrow around probably 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So, take it easy.